Hi everybody, welcome to our fourth Q&A. Today's topic is the different raw vegan diets, and our questions are: what does raw vegan actually mean? What are the most famous raw vegan diets? What are fruitarians? Are there places in the world where people eat like this all the time? What if I don't want to go 100%? Is there a raw vegan diet where you eat meat? Is raw milk a superfood? Okay, so first question. What does raw vegan actually mean? So it means we keep the temperature of our food in its natural state. So it's either 48 degrees centigrade or 118 Fahrenheit. Now this is not cold, and it doesn't mean we eat cold, as you've noticed. My dear friend here is present in some of my recipes. It's a lovely thermometer, and it helps me warm up foods and still keep things in natural temperature. And you wouldn't even notice the difference because it is serving temperature. The idea is to keep the enzymes, the fats, and the sugars in their natural state. What are the most famous raw vegan diets? So possibly the most famous one today is the 80-10-10 diet. All the links to everything I say are in the description below. The idea is that at least 80% of everything you eat needs to be carbohydrates, which essentially means fruits. No more than 10% proteins, no more than 10% fats. I practice a very similar diet called the Dr. Morse diet. The main differences have to do with food combinations and how we treat proteins, but apart from that, they are very similar, and I've also learned a lot about detoxification on the Dr. Morse diet. There was an older diet that was practiced a couple of years ago. It was called the Wigmore diet. Now, Anne was more about sprouting, and she was about wheatgrass, and if you're interested, her book is linked below. What are fruitarians? So we talked about the importance of fruit. So essentially, fruitarians are people who basically eat lots of fruit, mainly fruit. And this starts from the idea that the human body is a species that is a frugivore. Now, I know that there is a debate in the medical community whether or not we are frugivores or omnivores. And this is definitely not the place where I can answer that question. But for a quick answer, it's about the ratio between the length of the spine and your GI tract, which is slightly different between frugivores and omnivores. It's also about having a simpler, much smaller liver and a smoother tongue, which is what we are as a species. It's also about, if you go to nature and it's common sense, we're most similar to a monkey. Now, a monkey, if you take them out of their natural environment, they might eat another monkey if they have to, but they prefer this. Are there places in the world where people eat like this all the time? So I had a look at the Hunza Valley in Pakistan. Excuse me if I'm not pronouncing this right. And they have a huge community that's for generation been predominantly a fruitarian community, and they're very, very healthy. They have a lot less problems than we do, and they live longer. So yes, there are also islanders. There are places where people could just walk in the sun and eat this straight off the tree. What if I don't want to go 100%? So the fourth diet that I'd like to refer to is the raw till 4 diet. It's a vegan diet, but it's not 100% raw. It's mostly raw. It started with Leanne Radcliffe. You know her as Freelee the Banana Girl, and her mother, who constructed this diet. It's a very healthy diet, and many people follow it who want to explore the raw vegan world without going 100%. When I first had a look at the Dr. Jensen diet, books are all linked below, I also noticed that it was a high fruit and veggie content. There were soups, so it wasn't completely raw, but it was essentially a health and body curing diet. And the diet that I used to follow before I went raw, which originated here in Edinburgh, is called the Kingston Clinic Diet. It was very high on fruits and veggies. It wasn't a raw vegan or a vegan diet. It's taken me very far, and then I switched to raw. So that was my choice, but there are plenty of ways to enjoy raw meals and have a wonderful, healthy life without being 100%. Is there a raw diet where you eat meat? Yes, there is. It's called Paleo. It's almost completely raw vegan except for just a little bit of meat. And I suggest, if you're looking into the research behind the diets, think about what it meant for a human being species to be out in nature on their own. So no tools, no clothing, no help. What would you be able to eat? So there are some things, for example, raw meat, that you would be able to eat. You can smack a fish on its head and make yourself a sushi. But there are certain things that you would have to cultivate or grow or cook in order to make them edible. So that's the thought. What is natural to your body? Is raw milk a superfood? Well, if you're a baby cow, it is. I know this may come a bit as a shock, but if you think about it, right, what other animal drinks milk after they're a baby? Even the cows won't have it. So no, this is not supposed to be human food. Now, I know there is the debate over calcium, but even Harvard Medical School says absolutely no more than 1 to 2 cups a day. Link below. So it's a debate. I think that a lot of the things that I say here are the things that I've learned in the last 2 years, and I'm still learning. And if you're an expert on the subject, please do share more information. Do share links below. Help us learn. I am not perfect. There are a lot of things that I don't know, and I think that this is also about learning as much as it is about sharing information. I hope you had fun with this Q&A. Always happy to share recipes with you. Please subscribe, and see you soon.